Hi, welcome back. Today I want to compare the Nespresso virtual machine. This is the classic version. There is one with a frother you can buy combined, but I didn't get that one because I'll show you in a little bit. It does make crema, which is the foam on top, so you don't really need it. And I'll give you the price of it alone and without. I'm comparing it to the original kind of a drip machine. This is no frills, no timer, just press start in the morning and it goes. And this is a French press. I got this French press in the all stainless because when I did get one in glass, we did drop it in the sink and it did shatter. And this one is pretty much pretty close to bulletproof. You drop it, you clink it around, and you're not gonna break it. So, I would advise the stainless steel one. Up to you, whatever you want to do. So the Nespresso virtual machine. This one is $209 on Nespresso.com. You can also get it at, pretty much everywhere, like Bloomingdale's.com. You can get it at, I think, Nordstrom.com and also Williams-Sonoma. There are a lot of sales that goes on during the holidays, so I would wait for those sales. They usually go down to $150 or $170. And you do save a bunch by making your own drip coffee. I know coffee's gone up a lot. A latte is like $5, and a drip cup of coffee is maybe like $2 to $3, depending where you get it. This whole sleeve is 10 pods in one sleeve for the Nespresso machine. They start at each pod, depending if you get espresso, which is 95 cents a pod, which is about $9.50 for the sleeve. And if you get a coffee pod, which is approximately 7.77 ounces, this is $13 for the sleeve and $1.30 a pod, depending on which pod you get. On the site, they give you a whole bunch of different origins, different types, different flavor combos. So you're gonna be approximately spending per sleeve, like $9.50 to $13. The really special ones are like extra large cup, or like a special drip coffee might cost a little bit more, but $1.30 per cup to 95 cents per cup for an espresso. It's you're spending half, so that's great, right? Or more than half. So how it works: you open this thing, you do a little bit of a push pull, you put your pod in, you gotta slam it closed, okay? And you're gonna twist the top. You just press the center. It typically takes about maybe a few seconds to warm up. I think it's warmed up a little bit here. There's a water reservoir there. And when it's done, when you open it, it will pop into this empty reservoir here where you just, collect the pods all up to the top and you empty out maybe at the end of the week. So let's press go. Just for kicks, I do have a sound level meter. I want to see how loud it gets. So if you have roommates, we'll see if it's like something that would disturb them. Holding at about 69, and I'm going to list all the sounds for the sound levels and the captions so you know, but it's not very loud comparably to this coffee grinder, which we'll measure in a bit. Okay, so there's a little bit of a drip, but at the end, the drip will go into this little reservoir with a metal tab here. this tab here, you can also lift. There's a magnetic part. And so that way if you have a espresso cup, sorry, I'm not in the frame, espresso cup, the espresso cup will level higher. And so, you know, you're not dripping from here down to there. But since we're not doing espresso, you can put this magnet back down to the bottom here, and that's fine. So this is that coffee. This is the French press. It takes about, you know, 2 tablespoons of, you need to do coarse ground coffee, okay? Coarse ground coffee, you can either make it home by buying the bag and having a coffee grinder like this. And it makes it sound like this in the morning, so this is, oops, let's unhold, let's see how loud this gets. It's showing at 96, so it is louder than an espresso machine. I guess I wouldn't recommend doing that if you have roommates. It would probably wake them. I'll put all the numbers in the caption again for you later, so you don't have to write this down or anything. Not that you will. This coffee press, you would do the 2 tablespoons of coarse ground. You're doing coarse ground because there is a netted sleeve piece here. And when you put the hot water in with the 2 tablespoons of grinds, after about approximately like 3 to 5 minutes, depending on how, you know, strong you want the coffee, you would press down this pendulum here. You press it down all the way, not pendulum, just press down the bar. And that presses the coffee that floats to the top, to the bottom of the water. And then you would pour it out like this. And I'm using non-handled clear glasses here, just so you can see the coffee. I put 8 ounces, a little bit more than 8 ounces of water, because I feel like, you know, the coffee grinds might absorb a little of the water, so I'm doing it like this. The only bad thing about doing a French press is I feel like no matter how coarse you do the coffee, you don't want to do it too coarse or you don't get the flavor. It does kind of suck up some of the water. So this is supposed to be 7.77 ounces. I put 9 ounces of water in here, 2 pretty heaping tablespoons of coarse ground coffee, and still a little smaller. I'm a little confused, but maybe you need to put more. So this is doing approximately 9 ounces of hot water. This was, I don't know how much water comes out, but the pod says 7.77 ounces. So I'll measure the ounces and I'll put them down the bottom of how much liquid's actually in each one in the end. Let's talk about coffee for a little bit before we get to this one, because this one's pretty easy to use. So let's talk about a coffee bag, because that's what you would use for a French press and a drip coffee. So a coffee bag is typically about 12 ounces to I think 16 ounces, and it ranges from $7 for a less expensive bag to $20 for a more expensive bag. They say that a 12 to 16 ounce bag will approximately give you about, for 7.77 ounce cup, compared to this one here, it'd be 24 cups. So I like mine a little bit stronger. So let's say 20 cups. So you are per cup cheaper than this guy here. The espresso is pretty much, you know, like $1 to $1.30 a cup on the, you know, so that's pretty good. Let's try the sound and how long it takes for this machine. So pretty much you have a little reservoir here. I'm gonna pull it out for you, okay? And you have a little filter. I'll put the price of how much a bag of filter are. 2 tablespoons of more finely ground coffee. So this is easier because obviously every store has pre-ground coffee. You don't need coarse ground coffee. You just put regular ground coffee inside. You press go. You put in the reservoir your how much water per 2 tablespoons. Per tablespoon you put, they said 6 ounces of water. But I do find that once you put the water in, it kind of heats up and it like, you know, evaporates a little bit. So I usually put like 8 to 9 ounces and a little bit more coffee. So it kind of, you know, I have like a more full cup of coffee. That's why, you know, I kind of changed up the how many cups of coffee is in a coffee bag, because I don't know. I don't feel like I get 20 cups of coffee. Could be wrong. I might have to test that out next video. So we're gonna start that up and let's see the sound of this one. You know, it's pretty quiet actually. Showing averaging like 60, and I'll listen below and I'll compare, you know, sounds about you know, how loud that would be. All right, so this is a Nespresso. Here's a French press and here's a drip coffee. The French press, I didn't say the price. Typically you can get them on Amazon or pretty much anywhere starting at $20, and if you get fancy it's $50. For the drip coffee machine, it's pretty much almost the same price range. You can pretty much get them from $20 to getting fancier at $50. You can get really fancy ones that grind your coffee beans and put them in fresh for, you know, $200, so it's the same price as an espresso, and you can set it so it's, you know, it starts up pretty much before you wake up and your cup of coffee is done before. But you know, I don't like ever remember to start that. I think you just start that every night before, so it depends what you're gonna do, but this is pretty much how they all work, you know. Pretty easy. This is the easiest one out of all of them. Just put it in, you know, blah 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 blah. This one you have to buy pods, you know, online, or you have to go to a designated espresso store. But this is the easiest to just put up in the morning, you know, without scooping things up and like, you know, pre-measuring coffee. You know, I'll list, you know, pros and cons on the video, and you know, I'll let you decide. I'm also gonna, you know, let you know that this one's very consistent. You know, it's gonna taste the same every freaking time. This one here, you know, you gotta remember to dump out the coffee at the appropriate time. Either put an alarm for yourself, or some days you're in a rush, you might have weaker coffee. Some days, I guess you might have stronger coffee if you're just doing things you forget and it's just been sitting there for like 10 minutes, which I've done so many times. Also on the bottom of the coffee pot, when you get to the bottom, you want every drip of coffee. You do get a little bit of sediments on the bottom. I guess you can't really, oh yeah, there's sediments on the bottom. I'll take a picture and put it on the video for you. The drip coffee, obviously no sediments because there's a filter in here. It's pretty accurate time. It always, you know, holds up the amount of water until it drips out. But I will say I put the same amount of water in each one, 9 ounces. And for some reason, this one always has the least amount of coffee, probably because there's a filter in there and the filter probably absorbs some water. So there's that. Out of all of them, I had this in for 5 minutes. This one looks the lightest. And these two are about the same. So that. You're probably gonna wanna see what it looks like with crema. So I'm gonna do that for you right now. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. I put some milk into the cup. Don't worry, we'll drink all this coffee somehow later. I'm gonna be so jived. Put another pod in there. Empty pod goes in the reservoir, which you'll dump out end of the week, depending when it gets full. Press go, and let's wait. Okay, now that it's all done, wow, look at that. So if you put milk on the bottom and then you start your Nespresso machine, it's gonna be a nice pretty gradient like you see for like, I think they're called macchiatos or something like that. I'll put the name on the caption. And it does build some cream heads, like a fine cream, crema here, and some foam. So that's really pretty. I'll take a picture for you. This one is just the Nespresso without any milk on the bottom. I just put a little bit of half and half. You can put whole milk, whatever milk you want. It's all gonna give you some of that foam. So it pretty much makes you a latte, okay? And so if you do the same thing with espresso, you're gonna have a cappuccino, all right? And then you just can, mix it up with a spoon so that the gradient, the milk on the bottom stirs with everything else, and it's gonna be perfect. I actually have a tablespoon here, so I'll just do a little mix like this so you can see. You pretty much have yourself a latte there, all right? So this, I guess, would be $4 to $5 at a anywhere. So pretty much you have a latte from a less than $1.50 capsule. So this is $1.50 latte plus milk, $1.60 latte. That's a bargain, all right? This is without anything at all. This is the French press, and this is the coffee machine. French press, the coffee beans absorb from the water, and so, even though it's supposed to be same ounce, it's a little bit less. And this one is the coffee machine. The filter absorbs from the water, and of course the coffee beans, the water is still trapped in there a little bit, and so that's why it's like that. All of the water that goes through this reservoir that is pushed actually through the capsule, and so pretty much all the water, is spun out. You can hear it spinning and rotating into the cup. So this is the full amount of water. I also suspect that maybe they calculate the water to push out in the proper amount so that you actually get a full 7.77 ounce cup. And actually, I'm actually curious. I'm gonna measure it to see if it is 7.77 ounces. All right, let's see. Nope, not this one. This one with the milk. This one. Hey, that's like 8 ounces. So, say 8 ounces. My suspicion was correct. There's more water. The French press with 9 ounces put in comes in at less than 8 ounces. Is like about 7 ounces. So this is 7 ounces. Tiny bit less. I don't know, 6.9 ounces, 6.8 ounces. I did measure like over 8 ounces of water for both of them. So approximately 9. Oh, hey, this is 6 ounces. So keep that in mind when you make coffee. So keep that in mind when you make coffee. You're gonna have to adjust the water a few times when you make coffee, depending on how much grind you have, the filter, whatever, to get the amount you want. Obviously, when you make this pot, sometimes you make it for multiple people, so you just put a lot of water in there. You put, less coffee grind if you like it light, and more coffee grind if you like it heavier. And then for this one, you're gonna have to do the same. So now you know. I wasted a bunch of coffee, which I will drink. Don't worry, I'm not gonna waste it. I'm gonna drink this all, or I'll put it in the fridge and drink it as a iced coffee with some ice later. Thank you for watching. If you have any other suggestions about videos that you want to see to test out, let me know. Comment and subscribe. Thank you so much. Bye.